Hi everyone, so I just finished my first big live stream from the Season 4 PTR. So here we get to try out a new patch early, and one of the highlights of the feature, at least for me, are those level 200 Uber bosses, what I call Tormented bosses. So all of the existing bosses that we have, Grigar, Vashan, Beast in the Eyes, and so on, will have a new ultra hard level 200 version, and we went in to try it out with our characters. And I gotta say, it was an absolute blast. These guys actually don't mess around. They have a lot of HP. They don't fall over in like 2 hits as you are maybe used to from Duriel farming or something like that. And actually fought this guy like 3-4 times or something until we finally took him down. This was with Macro, Chronix, and Nolthvar. And we just grouped up and we went in there together, and it kind of worked out after we kind of figured like how stuff works and what to avoid and what are the kind of like dangerous moves basically. But I gotta say, it was a blast. So here's the fight. And well, these guys also drop a lot of loot. So it costs more materials than normal to summon them, 5 times the amount. Plus you need some Stygian stones, it's called, I think, that you get from the pit. The pit is the new Greater Rift-like endgame system. So you just found out a bit, and these stones drop. There's not really the main reason to do the pit. There's other stuff to be farmed there, mostly for the crafting and upgrading your items. But the Stygian stones are kind of like an extra. And you can then challenge those level 200 bosses. And a little perk that you get for beating one of them the first time in a season is a 1 Resplendent Spark. So you at least want to try to get one of them down. Personally, I would actually really enjoy if each of them would give you one, just so that you have kind of this challenge and, you know, you want to take all of them down. I think that would be kind of cool, but maybe that would be a bit too OP. But originally I thought this is actually how it works. But you get 1 spark for doing one of these guys, which right now in the PTR doesn't work because it's like a non-seasonal PTR, I think. So it doesn't actually have that kind of seasonal one-time reward. But either way, it was kind of a cool fight. The main thing to try to avoid in this fight, if you are actually trying it yourself, are these laser beams that you can see there popping up. So every time you get hit by one of those beams, you get a permanent debuff for the rest of the fight that stacks and gives you a lot more damage taken. So if you get hit by these beams like 2-3 times, it's basically game over. And you have to make sure that you don't accidentally like run into it or get knocked into it. He has knockbacks and these kind of things with this big swing sometimes. So there is some stuff like that. And well, you gotta be aware of that. And also, I mean, this fight continues like this for a while, and here and there he also charges the ground with these squares, and you have to try to find like the 1 or 2 squares that are still free basically. And this also really hurts. I didn't actually try to get hit by this, but I saw my teammates dying from this very fast, so I think this is also one of those things to avoid later in the fight. Otherwise, Grigar is not that crazy as long as you can handle those 2 things. My character wasn't really like geared up for a boss killer, to be fair. I just tried to make sure I had a lot of armor. I had like 17,000 armor or something, which I think is nearly capped. I'm not sure exactly how much you need at this point, but it should be around that, maybe a bit more. So I was kind of fine on physical damage, and then we used like a lighting res pot and kept lighting resistance, and that was kind of working out. So you can obviously become more defensive, but then the damage goes even further down. But I guess if you bring like an actual boss killer build, it wouldn't be such a problem. In my case, I was playing kind of an abomination of a grenade rogue to try to dish out a bit more single target damage in prolonged combat, which is definitely not the rogue build to play against these bosses. But otherwise, a little spoiler, I guess, grenade rogue turned out really fine. So I'm gonna make a dedicated video about this build. And I was farming the pit. I was farming like even like a almost T100 Nightmare Dungeon with that, somewhat comfortably, and my setup was very far from optimal. So you can definitely do some crazy things with grenade rogues now. Feels really fun. But yeah, either way, that was kind of like the highlight here of the night. This was right before I stopped the stream, and I had like this adrenaline pumping after this 15-minute fight or something. This was an incredibly long fight, which again couldn't shortcut, I guess, with like stronger builds and stuff. But I think even like really good builds would probably not take down this boss in less than 1 to 3 minutes or something else like that, I think. So yeah, I guess everyone here was like pretty suboptimal with their setup. But yeah, it was a long fight. So you see this here, like, yeah, there was like, we started like at 3 hours 22 on this recording, and we took him down at like 3 hours and 38 or something. It was like 16 minutes. I also revived everyone like a bunch of times. Yeah, kind of crazy encounter. I'm really excited to see some of the other Ubers, and I will definitely also keep you guys covered for those. But yeah, this was kind of the fight here. I also got an incredible reward here. You see that little Roman 1 on the unique ring. In case you're not aware, this is a greater affix, which can spawn on any ancestral, unique, or legendary, which gives that affix a maximum roll and gives it plus 50% on the potential. So in that case, this can actually boost the power of a unique, so that it's not like kind of static, but instead sometimes you get like an incredible roll. And I actually got the new Saboteur's Signet, which is the one ring that I actually want for this build, which is the Flurry Stun Grenade combo ring that you can see here. And I had this one equipped, and I actually started masterworking this. This was started with like 4 point something% crit, and I tried to hit it twice and I got it. And well, here on the right you see how crazy these greater affixes can be. This just rolled 12% crit baseline, and now I can start crafting on this thing. I can show you the result tomorrow, I guess. And this thing is gonna have like 20+% crit chance on a ring, by the way. And you can do this with legendaries as well. You can actually have multiple of these affixes. And I found a few items that have multiple of them. I found like 2 at least, twice or so in the night. I didn't find a triple yet, but I had some people in chat that showed me some of the triple greater affix items. So they do exist, but I guess they will be very rare. But yeah, some stuff like this, if it rolls right, it can be incredible. And I also had like a crazy reaction when I actually saw that, so I'm gonna show that here. When I was looking at the items, and I was very happy about this. But yeah, anyway, that was kind of like it for Grigar, the first Uber boss that we took down here. I'm gonna try to probably solo them all at least once or something during the PTR, but it is quite a grind because you actually have to farm all these boss materials. So I'll keep you guys updated with whatever else I have. That's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for a lot more videos coming out from the PTR from my side. I have a lot of stuff to share here. There's a lot of really cool things. So hope you like this one, and I'll see you guys next time.